Testing. Okay. Hello and good evening. It's Monday again, and I realise this is probably not going to be the most exciting thing to stream. But in the aftermath of finishing chapter 23, I don't have anything. I haven't really had a chance to start on 24 yet, so I've got nothing to show. And I'm a bit too tired to game, so I'm updating the progress reports poster, which isn't going to take me very long, so I'm going to chat for a while before I really get started on it. Hello, Krogan and Falk Productions. Welcome. Sorry, I had a bit of screen glare and I couldn't see what your name was. I'm going to have to adjust the position of the screen, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Oh, no, not right now. I'll just have to make do. So this is a poster that gets posted on my community page on the channel every so often when I've made a good leap of progress. Scott, I can only stay for a minute, so let me just say thank you for putting these together. You're most welcome. Thank you for dropping by and for enjoying the show, the series. And please spread the word. Right? The more people watching it, the better. Death Knight Vader, hello, welcome. This poster every so often when I make a good chunk of progress, I'll update it and post it on the community page, just to give everyone an idea of the work that has been done and what's left to do for the last few chapters of the book. Obviously, chapter 23 was released last week for Star Wars Day, so I need to update that. And of course, it's not going to take me very long. But for those who missed it when I first started the chat, because you only just tuned in, I haven't had a chance to start on 24 yet, beyond that one animated and rendered scene. So this is all I've got so far. So I don't really have anything else to show, and I'm too tired to game tonight. So we're going to do this. Rebel 4444, thank you so much, and hello. I'm glad you're enjoying the project. So yeah, I just need to update that and this bit. Also realised that when I release chapter 24, we're 3/4 of the way through the book. Only quarter of it left after that. Of course, I'll ruin that very quickly because these 3 chapters will be, 26 isn't done yet, but it's quite a short one and it won't be too difficult. But 25's done, 27's done, so they'll be ready to go in quite quick succession. 24, waiting for the culmination of part 2. Yeah, part 2 will be released after this one. Because part 1 was the first half of the book. Makes sense that part 2 should be the second half, not part of the second half. I don't want to do 3 parts. But yeah, I'm glad you're looking forward to part 2. I'm looking forward to being able to watch the whole thing in a row as well. I think it'll be about 4 hours long. I mean, the total runtime so far, this does not include chapter 23 because I haven't updated it yet, is 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I'm guessing about 4 hours for the whole thing. And love this. It's amazing that you are so talented. Thanks for your hard work. Well, thank you for watching and your kind words. So yeah, this is probably not going to be the most exciting stream, but I'll do it a bit slowly so that I don't get through it in just a few minutes. Probably not going to be the longest stream. I usually do for an hour, but I don't think this is going to last an hour tonight. But I am looking forward to diving into chapter 24. And there's a lot happening there, and in 26 as well. I need to get on with that. Of course, lots of happening in the Well, and all of it really. I have to say though, the big space battle in 31, can't wait for that. I have actually started figuring out how the battle is going to look. I don't have anything to show off yet. Apart from the tiny little clip that was in the final chapters trailer that I released just before Christmas. That's the only part of it I've finished so far. Because of course you have to show a little bit of the battle in the trailer. Anyway, let's see how this is going to... This poster, because it's such a high resolution, there's so much on it, is pretty demanding on my system. So, let's see. Crazy, hello, welcome. I do try and stream every week. Usually something behind the scenes, or I'll play a game. I'm too tired to play a game tonight, and I haven't really had a chance to get started on chapter 23, so 24. So there's no behind the scenes stuff to show except for updating this poster, which isn't going to be particularly exciting, but I'm afraid it's all I got for tonight. I'm always at work, not your fault. Well, work is important. You can always watch these streams afterwards, because I do have them set to go straight on the channel. Oh, well, that was good, wasn't it? There we go, got the characters the right colour. Motion capture 4 of 4. Scenes animated 6 of 6. Scenes rendered 6 of 6. I should hope so, because I've released the video. I do love your work, man. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the series and what I do. It's always nice to hear. Right, so we're changing all these to green to show that they're finished. Right, so motion captures 4 of 4 scenes, but the scenes animated is 6. Now the reason for that is I include scenes that don't have any motion capture requirement, like the skip ray blast boat. Shots of them flying through the canyon and the chase is one scene, but you don't need motion capture for spaceships, just the characters, because I'll do the interior bit separately. So when it says, if anyone's wondering why I only do motion capture for 4 out of 6 scenes, that's why. The other one was the shot of the shuttles landing at the base. Lost Animations, hello and welcome. Or should I say general animations? See, here's a question for all of you. So it says complete released. Do you think I should put the release date on there so people can see when it was released? Because I could just do, what was it, 4th, 5th, 23. No, that's the Americans. I know a lot of you are American. Let's go. That. Because I'm not American, so when I write the date, I put the day before the month. Do you know what looks better? Because I have to update 22 as well. When does I release that? The release date is tricky from UK Wales. Ah, didn't realise you were so close. I've been to Cardiff quite a few times. I do enjoy visiting. Been to North Wales a couple of times as well, but Cardiff is a little bit closer to where I live, which is near Bristol. Generals have a duty to be out in the field. It's true. Yeah, I think I like it with the date, so I'm just gonna. I've got to look up when I released chapter 22. Because I don't remember off the top of my head. 2 months ago. How about the actual date? Nope, it's... YouTube's been really helpful in showing me I released it 2 months ago, but not the exact date. Car traffic is terrible though. Why on earth go there? I go by train, so I don't have to worry about the traffic. It's about an hour on the train from where I live, so it's not that far. Okay, I released it on the 2nd of March. Okay. So, let's see. Flippy, hello, welcome. That train is fine if you get past the current strike action. Yeah, I was lucky going to Celebration. I managed to avoid the strikes because they didn't do any that weekend. Next weekend, though, that's going to be interesting because I'm going to another convention and there are strikes on the Friday and Saturday. So I was lucky enough to update my hotel booking and I'm going on Thursday. I made that sure that's possible. But didn't really need an extra day of doing nothing because there's nothing really to do once I'm there. But never mind. It was either that or not go and waste the convention tickets because they don't let you resell them or anything or trade them or anything. Yeah, I think it looks good with the dates. Although, actually thinking about it, I'm going to do that because if I write the whole month, once you get past July, the text is going to start overlapping there and I don't want to have to redesign the entire poster. So yeah, first 3 letters of the month name should work nicely. I hope everyone is doing well. Alright, so 23 is updated. Have you thought about possible sickness or such interrupting your schedule? Yes, because I came back from Celebration with COVID and that slowed me down. Because the project is being done for fun rather than on a strict. When will 24 release? I may have missed that. You did not miss that. It'll release when it's finished, and I haven't really started much of it yet, so that might be a little while. And I don't have. I've only got 6 of the 9 characters voiced, and I've got to. Still waiting for 3 more characters to voices to be sent in. So we thought about COVID slowed me down, but because everyone it's been done for fun rather than as a dedicated project on a fixed timeline, it's just a factor of it. I mean, sometimes the voice actors are very busy, so I have to wait a while before they can send in their dialogue, and sometimes I get it done really quickly, like having 25 and 27 finished, because I've got all the dialogue. Why not work on it? So yeah, it just has to be kind of flexible as far as this project goes. COVID was a nightmare for everyone. Yeah, it really was. When everything was locked down, working on this was a good way to keep sane, so I'm glad I had that opportunity. I know not everyone was quite so lucky, but yeah. Anyway, what did I... Oh yeah, when this started I had scenes animated 3 of 6, so I like to update this little thing down here as well. Uh, 62 of 87 complete. Chapters released 23, and I did calculate this earlier because I didn't want to do it on the stream, but we're going to go. I'm going to round it up to 72% because it's actually 71.875. I allow for some days when of freedom when from the project, or days when you can allocate sick days. Sounds like you are planning with a workplace you are employed for. Well, one of the things I like to do is some of the scenes take ages to render. Like you leave it overnight, and it will probably not finish until sometime late the next afternoon. So I use that to I just leave it running, and I'll go and do something else. Other work, or I'll go out and enjoy myself. Whatever life requires, and it is nice to go out and enjoy myself. Although the weather's been horrible lately, so it's not really even doing that. Well, I'll play some games on my Switch or something like that. So yeah, I do have breaks. I'm not waking up, working on this, going to bed, waking up, working on this, going to bed, or anything like that. I don't do that. Right, total runtime so far. I do not remember the runtime of episodes. Let's have a look. That's the wrong chapter. There we go. 9 minutes. Right. Yeah, I understand the rendering times have been done. I wish myself on a Mac computer that was on its way out. In college, I could barely run it. Yeah. You have my sympathies rendering on a Mac that can barely function. Macs are really good when they work, but the older ones do really slow down. Especially, I imagine, on a college one that's been used a lot. Right, so 54 minutes. Nearly 3 hours. I don't have an estimate for the. Well, I imagine that 24 is going to take us over the 3 hour mark. And we have I can't load it up just yet. 25 and 27. 27 is not that long. 25. We should probably be getting to about 3 hours and 20 minutes by the time those are done. I don't know how long 26 is going to be. If you were to make Heir to the Empire again, is there anything you would change? No. I mean, at some point when I finish 32 and I'm going to release part 2, what I'd like to do is render everything with Omniverse again. So I started using Omniverse chapter 17, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 17. Or was it 18? One of those chapters. I think it was 18 actually. I mixed the iClone render for the characters and then the space footage from Omniverse, and then the following chapters entirely Omniverse. What I would like to do is everything up to that point I would render again in Omniverse, and I would bring in the new character models to replace the older, more primitive ones, because obviously the software has come a long way since then. But I wouldn't actually change anything else apart from that, and then render it with Omniverse. So it would have an updated render, but I wouldn't change anything, unless there would be an exception if any of the project files are corrupt. And I had to create the scene again from scratch, because obviously no matter how close I try and make it to the original scene, it will be slightly different in some way. Like the camera might not be exactly the same place, or the lighting might be off, or anything like that. But I would make it as close as possible. Yeah, I mean, some of those earlier chapters, especially 1 and 2, do look very primitive compared to what I've been doing it lately. So it'd be nice to have a part 1 special edition and a part 2 all rendered like this, so you can watch both back to back and they would be consistent quality all the way through. I was the guy to always find unusual glitches that made no sense. Ghost files was having USB stick corruptions. Ah, yes. I understand that all too well. Flippy, that's a loaded question. I see you're trying to extend the stream time. I just said no. It's not really a strict no, but it's not really a yes either. It's kind of a sort of. I mean, I'm happy to talk. I mean, I finished the poster. I've updated everything. I've saved it. It's nice to see us getting close to the end. Not because I want it to be over, it's just getting to this point is going to be a huge achievement. And it'll be fun to go back and do that re-render I was just talking about. And then watch it all the way through like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. These streams are fun. Alright, I'm glad you enjoyed them. I was worried this particular stream might not be that interesting because all I've got is update on this. I haven't really got enough to do on here yet to show off. Like, I haven't done any motion capture for that or 26, and I don't have all the character dialogue yet, so there's all of that. And I was feeling a bit too tired tonight to sit down and play a game on the stream. But yeah, would you ever do something with the Force Unleashed anyway? Use characters as Easter eggs, new stories, etc. I am not opposed to sneaking elements from other EU stories into this, but only where it makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't have Starkiller suddenly run through the forest with Luke and Mara Jade. That wouldn't really make sense. But if I could sneak in something in the background somewhere that would work, then I will do that. I hadn't actually thought too much about the Force Unleashed. I don't know if I'm going to have too many opportunities to sneak things from that game in the remaining chapters of the book. Cause the scenes are very isolated. There's not a lot of people in any of them. But I'll give it some thought and see what I can come up with. And I won't tell you where I've put something in. You have to try and find it yourself. Stream's always fun. Yeah, not to worry. Well, I'm glad you think so. Floopy, even if you're not doing something very exciting, it's always fun having conversations with fellow Throners. Well, thank you. Hoppy, hello and welcome. I'm afraid you've missed the bulk of the stream where I was updating this poster. Just to reflect the progress so far on the series and what's left to do. 7 chapters left to animate. How's everyone's May the 4th? I watched Star Trek just to be that guy. No, I watched Visions as well. Oh, not all of it. I have seen all of it now, but I did enjoy that. There's lots of varied styles of animation. It's very interesting. Will you go to other books, Truth of the Core, etc.? I think once I finished Heir to the Empire, the logical place to go would be Dark Force Rising. But I am always happy to encourage other filmmakers and other animators to pick up the other Star Wars books and give them a shot. Even this one, if someone else wanted to try their hand at Heir to the Empire, it'd be interesting to see what they did. I did see a Lego version out there somewhere. I think it's only the first chapter. By new stories are meant apart from this book. Would it be quite jarring to have Stark? Exactly, that's why I wouldn't do it, because it has to make sense. Example that I would come up with, I think it was chapter 9 or 10. I can't remember. No, 10, yeah. And Rogue Squadron comes to the rescue. And Corran Horn's there, because he's a member of Rogue Squadron at this point. He's not named in the book, because as far as Timothy Zahn was concerned, he didn't exist yet, because the X-Wing books were written after this. But he was in Rogue Squadron, so he has a little cameo. Rogue 9. And, because, that's the thing, it makes sense. I'll do that, and I'll put things in the background. Off he just got home from work. Well, welcome home. After that Force Rising, Last Command will be easy for you. Last Command is actually the shortest book of the trilogy. So there's that. Seen Lego version, looks awesome. Yeah, he did a pretty good job. Where I cut some things out of the first chapter just to make it work more efficiently, he did it straight from the book. So he's even got the bridge scene. But yeah, you can tell that he put a lot of work into it. Okay, so you're only going to do the 3 book. That's a lot of work. Good luck. Yeah. Well, we'll see how long. I've got ideas to try and make it a little bit faster for 2 and 3, but I haven't really sat down and planned it out yet, because I've still got a way to go before I get to here, and I haven't started reading Well, I think I read the first chapter of Dark Force Rising about a year ago. That was a while, so I need to. At some point, I need to read the book again and start planning it out properly. But yeah, after Last Command, I don't know. I mean, I feel a bit like Peter Jackson working on Lord of the Rings, and that was obviously his dream project. And it ended up being mine. It's not something I ever thought I would do. It's just something I wanted to see, and then I ended up making it happen. Okay, so all the stars. If you could be set at a specific time to observe, ask questions, or offer ideas, what scene would it be on? So all stars. If you could be on set a certain time to observe, ask questions, or offer ideas, what scene would it be on? That is a really good question. Actually, I know it's a bit more recent. So, I wouldn't want to be on set for the original trilogy because, okay, logically I know the films and I know how a lot of the stuff was done, but I wouldn't want to see it being done because it would take away some of the magic. So I would want to keep that. I would not ever want to visit those original sets when they were in use. To see the sets in person when they're empty and have a look around, so yeah, it'll be fun. You know, walk around the Millennium Falcon or sit in the X-Wing cockpit or any of those things. I'd be happy to do that, but I wouldn't want to see anything being made on them. Just to keep that magic still there. So what I would do, it would be any of the Disney Plus shows that use the volume studio, because that technology is really interesting to me. I would like to go on set when that's being used, just to see it being done and to maybe talk to some of the people, you know, the Unreal experts who know how to build these environments. That would be fun. And also to give it a try. I mean, if I was going to do a live action Heir to the Empire, I'd want that volume. Because I don't know exactly how to do it, but iClone can export scenes and characters and stuff to Unreal. So in theory, I could use the volume to put real actors in the very same environments I've made for this project. Of course, I don't have the hundreds of thousands of dollars needed to build a volume set. Actually, I'm sure it costs more than that. Whatever the cost of it is, I don't have that. And I don't have the actors to go in front of the cameras. But if I did, that's how I would do it. But I'd want to go and see how they were using it as well, just to see it, because it's really fascinating to me. There, girl bikini scene. I'm sure that would be a very popular choice for a great number of people. Would you ever want to work on a non-Star Wars movie as an animator or CG artist? I've made my own non-Star Wars project, so why not? As much as I love Star Wars, it is nice to work on other things. You can see some of my other stuff on my channel. Chronicles of Humanity is probably the biggest one. It was it's a trilogy of 3 films, and then a 4th one that kind of took the loose threads and did something else with them. Because I deliberately left a few things open because it would have felt too I don't say fake, but it wouldn't feel right to have wrapped up everything in that last part of the trilogy. There had to be some breathing room for the characters and for time to pass before those threads could be wrapped up. So I made a fourth one, which I'm very proud of that fourth one. Actually, I'm proud of the whole lot. Although the first one probably does look very primitive now. But yeah, I really pushed the software I was using at the time, which is called Movie Storm, to the limits, making that. But yeah, it would. Yeah, I'm happy to work on non-Star Wars stuff. I do have a few non-Star Wars ideas which I've been writing down. I don't know what I'm going to do with those ideas yet, but you know, it's just good to have those stories. I got lots of comments suddenly. Mine's the same with your training not wanting spoilers. It's controversial. I think a lot of people would feel the same way about wanting to have a discussion with Ryan about Luke. J Stars, after completing Heirs the Empire, are you going to take a break or go right to Dark Horse Rising? I need to read it again first. I started the first chapter about a year ago, but then I realised that it was too soon because I wasn't close enough to the end to start planning Dark Horse Rising. So I think at some point near the end or after finish, I'm going to read it again. But my immediate goal after finishing 32 is to re-render the first half of Heir to the Empire again, a little bit more where there's overlap, because I wasn't using the Omniverse to render it. So I want to make a part 1 special edition, which is everything part 1 rendered again to match the quality that I'm putting out now. And then I'll also do part 2, which has a little bit of re-rendering needed at the beginning where I wasn't using Omniverse. And then release the 2. That'd be my immediate project before going to Dark Horse Rising. Maybe I'll read the book as I'm doing it, because obviously lots of rendering time there. Right. I know senior people at Foundry. I could get you an introduction to the Unreal work at Lucasfilm. I would be very happy to take you up on that. It's very interesting to know what they do with the volume and Unreal. It's very exciting. I mean, I've been part of the machinima community for a long time, and never thought to see machinima, which is real-time animation, or it started off just using video games to tell stories, but never ever thought it'd use it in a way like the volume. And they don't use the word machinima when they're talking about it in behind-the-scenes stuff. But that's exactly what it is, and it's a huge thrill to me and to other members of the community that I still know to see something like The Mandalorian and the other shows using this technology, which is what we've been doing for decades, but using it in a way that's very different but very familiar. Well, it's been a few years since I've read any of these books. From what I can remember, your adaptation is faithful and extremely well done. Oh, hang on, I missed part of that. I'm actually... Disney, so I'm sure they would not feel it is the books, if at all. So it looks like Disney are... I got a lot of catching up to do, so I see I've got more messages here. I'll get through this as quick as possible. Looks like Disney are doing a very loose adaptation of the idea that Thrawn is causing problems for the New Republic around 5 years after Return of the Jedi. It's not going to be a one-to-one adaptation of the books. I think it's going to be like The Winter Soldier, how the film takes ideas from the comic story, but it does its own thing. I think that's what they're going to do with Thrawn in Ahsoka and the other shows that follow. We'll see how that goes in August. But yeah, my goal was to keep this as close to the book as possible. There are times where what's in the page doesn't work in video. And that's not a criticism of the book, it's just the way that it is, because the book was written to be read and not necessarily to be made into a film. And it's just the nature of crossing two types of media. So when I have to make a change, I try and keep it as close to the spirit of the book as possible, based on what I've seen Timothy Zahn say in interviews and things, and I hope any changes I've made he's okay with. Are you aiming for May the 4th release date for Exit Empire Part 2? I think that's too far away to estimate just yet, since we've only just had May the 4th this year. Be nice though. Can't wait Part 1 special edition. Neither can I. Master Luke, what did I miss? Lots of talking about the project really, and updating this, which I've done. But I didn't want to end the stream that early, so we just carried on talking. Anakin and Ahsoka fight on Mustafar in the Ahsoka show. I've heard that rumour. We'll have to wait and see. I'd rather you go right to Dark Force Rising rather than render Part 1. You are the maker. Well, the thing is, I have to read the book and write the script and send it out to all the voice actors. So that takes time. So while I'm doing that, I can do the rendering, because why not? Also, it looks good to have the two back-to-back in equal quality. I want to say more on the topic of the Last Jedi, Luke, but I don't want to cause divided opinions here, or such as I will refrain from doing that way. Okay, yeah, I kind of like this channel to be a friendly place for people who prefer pre-Disney, but also people who like Disney stuff, because once I got started on this project, I started thinking, because at the time Heir to the Empire was out of print. They obviously have re-released it since then, but I was thinking the story could be lost, and that would be a shame. So by making this animated version, it introduces a lot of people to the expanded universe and the stories they may have missed, because they weren't alive then, or they're going to Star Wars with the prequels or the sequels or any of the other stuff that's come out, Clone Wars or Rebels or Mandalorian. And I feel like by keeping it as welcoming as possible for everyone, it makes it possible to introduce this story to people who are newer Star Wars fans. So I try and stay neutral in the Disney conversation. Will Emperor make a cameo? I believe it's in chapter 26. He will not make a cameo. From what I remember, Mara starts getting visions of him in Dark Force Rising, so if the Emperor appears, it's going to be then. I extremely doubt that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's first, don't get me started on Disney Star Wars. Okay, we won't go there. Do you think the films will cover the, and I know the Yuuzhan Vong? This trilogy will not. But if that's a 19-book series, I don't think I can take that on single-handed. But if other animators want to do it as a team project, maybe I'd get involved with that. But I don't think I can handle 19 books by myself. I'd probably die of old age before I got to the end of even halfway through it. We're up. Blinks came to say hi. I love your stuff in film school. Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really think it's a brilliant idea. If I ever get enough money, I'll try to give you something more substantial for your achieving and conversation of this in the more accessible medium. Very awesome. Well, I'm glad you enjoy listening to me talking about this project and how it's done and all of that. You don't have to worry about supporting me. I do appreciate all the support that people give me, but if people just want to watch it, I'm very happy with that. In fact, if you want to do, the best way to support what I do is tell everyone you know. Post it on any of your social media pages. Talk to your friends, anyone that you think might be interested in watching it. Just let them know. And again, thank you so much for the super chat. Mine is an EU wholesale. Fair enough. According to the comic, Dark Force Rising Chapter 1 has a scene showing Jerusha both waiting in Jomark. I think that's a scene which would work better as the last scene. I think I see where you're going with that, but then if I did that, it wouldn't be true to this book because he's not in Chapter 32 of the book. Also, I haven't read the book for a while, so I think it starts. I can't remember now. I don't think it starts with No, Chapter 1 of Dark Force Rising starts with Card and Thrawn having a little bit of a face-off. He is the way, yep. How to get Jason as it's written. I will probably try an improv voice if you want. I will keep that in mind. I think all he has to say is, you will kill Luke Skywalker. Probably in several different tones, but that's what Mara keeps hearing in her visions. The chat's getting so excited, I'm having to scroll up again. I mean, don't stop talking. Could you talk about your methods? Where did you get your models? Do you build them or hire others? What do you use the engine? This came in for you when I saw this on the YouTube. Just the vids. Okay, so for the animation, I use a piece of software called iClown by Reallusion, and alongside iClown is another piece of software that they released with it called Character Creator. That does exactly what it sounds like. And there's a plugin that you can use. So if you get a photo of someone, you can make a model of their face, which is how I got Han, Luke, and Leia. And so you create your character with that, and you save it and export it over to iClown, and then you can just animate it. I have a motion capture suit which I use for the character animation. So what I'll do is, when I have all the dialogue for a scene, I'll put together a rough version of the audio so I can listen to that, and then I'll act out the scene in my living room with the motion capture suit on, and I'll do all the characters. And having that voice work to listen to is really good because you get the sense of timing and animation necessary. Because previously, early on in the project, I was trying to memorize the scenes, and occasionally I'd miss bits, and you can tell. So once I started listening to the audio, it just works so much better, and that's the only way I'll do it now. So yeah, I'll bring the motion capture data in. You'll do some cleanup because sometimes the limbs don't work quite right. They'll pass through the body. There's clipping issues and all that kind of stuff. So once it's all done, I will export that over to NVIDIA Omniverse to be rendered. I've been doing that for the last year or so, including the most recent chapter, and it's just a photorealistic ray traced rendering, which I really like. It takes a while, but it's worth it. And then I just edit the footage together. So I hope that answers your question. You're always welcome to stop by and ask any more questions, because I do like to try and be informative. Also, if you check out previous live streams, they're all here on my channel. If you go back, you can check lots of behind the scenes of various aspects of making this. And I did do let me look back and try and find it, because I can post a link to it in the. Just bear with me a second. I did a video where I very specifically went through the entire process of motion capture, editing, or cleanup, editing, and all of it. So let me see if I can find it. It's a little while ago. Yeah. Now it's here somewhere. Ah, here it is. Texting cockpit. Right. I'm going to post a link to it so you can check it out, rather than have to search through all my old videos to find it. But yeah, this is the motion capture to render. I can't remember if I was using Omniverse at that point, but there you go. This channel is just such a nice community. Everyone is always respectful and welcoming on the streams. They always can be divisive for random, but here everyone comes together to share love. Exactly what I like to see. And if you don't like Disney stuff, that's fine. Just you don't have to watch it. But yeah, I like to bring in Disney fans to the older material. Being friendly towards them is the only way to do it. Must look heading off evening all. Well, I think I missed you there because I was catching up on the chat. But if you're still here, have a good night. I made a really great Luke Skywalker modeling character before. I got it from Render Hub. The textures were bad, but I fixed them and made them 4K. Let me know if you want to check it out for your film. I'd be very interested in that. I don't know if I'll use them though, because I'm happy with my look, but I'm really curious what you did. Got to choose the book for sure. Yep. Wade Tyler, hello, welcome. Though after you create the primary archive, you could create a director's cut. Yeah, I mean, I could go back and I've got all the footage. I've got all the project files for the scenes, so it's not that difficult to go back and enhance them, re-render them, bring in the newer character models for the older scenes, anything like that. Have you tried contacting E.C. Henry? He makes amazing 3D models and could certainly help you out if he wants to. I have not. Let me make a note. Done. Thank you. Always good to have advice like that. You never know. Right, we catch up. In chapter 23, at time marks 5, 4, 6, after Luke has crashed their ships. What are the items under Luke's ship? They appear to be giant eggs, bullet holes in the air. I think that was a render glitch where I forgot to turn something off. I noticed it after I released the episode 2. Didn't notice it when I was rendering, but I don't actually know what they are. You will kill Luke Skywalker. Yeah. I was super impressed when I saw Luke's face in the video I saw a few weeks ago. Motion capture, that's brilliant. Use that. Very good and saves a lot of time. It really does. I don't think I could do it without the motion capture. Mara Jade kept hearing the Emperor say you will kill Luke Skywalker because before his death the Emperor sent that as the last command to Earth through the Force. Yes, he did. And it also left her really twisted because that's all she kept hearing. That's absolutely what I would do too if I had money in space. It's a lot of fun too. I saved up a long time for that motion capture suit, and I have to say they were a lot cheaper then than they are now, which is frustrating because it's also getting old, and I'm worried what's going to happen when it needs to be replaced eventually. But that's a problem for then. I can handle the voices for Tauntauns, Ewoks, Jawas and Jar Jar. I do, I mean Tusken Raider. Oh. Well, if I need a Tusken Raider, Hal, I will keep you in mind for that too. Ever since I heard how easy it was with Snoke's face capture, I was like, that's the only realistic way to save time and money. I don't actually do facial motion capture. It's been a while since I've tried it, but there was a plugin for iClone that does that with Faceware, but the results for the trial version of it were terrible. And so I did not spend the money to buy the proper plugin because it's very expensive, and I was just not happy with the results. So I did the facial animation manually, but it's not that difficult with iClone. They've made it a much easier process than it used to be. Floppy and its holiday helps your Java's voice is legendary. Utini, okay, it's voices. But it's been leaked as a what-if scenario through the worlds between worlds, along with loads of other stuff, which is all correct so far with the first leaked extended trailer. Well, I saw the extended trailer at Celebration. It was so fast, I haven't had a chance. It was hard to fully absorb everything except seeing Thrawn's face. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. I think it'll answer a lot of your questions. Probably give you more questions as well, but that's fine. Lucasfilm should hire you. You know how I feel about Disney. I would turn them down. I used to be real fun to play toys with. I can imagine if you're doing all those voices. Once you finish chapter 24, will you be releasing 25 the following Thursday or both at the same day? I would spread them out a little bit, so it would not be the same day, but it would be very soon afterwards. So probably a week, maybe 2 afterwards, depending on how 26 is doing. Because it would be really nice to do 24, 25, 26, and 27 in rapid succession. But we'll get to that when the time comes. But it won't be the same day because it's nice to spread it out a little bit. I can make different laser sounds. Good. Laser sounds are always welcome. Oh, do you get the time to watch the video I recommend last stream? The Lego. I have not had a chance to watch it. I've got his channel loaded up in a separate tab, but I've just not had a chance to sit down and watch it. There's so many new faces today. This is great. We used to bring our Kenner collections together for some epic reenactments. That must have been a lot of fun. Is Mara Jade a playable character in many video games? I know she of Masters of Terrace Cassette, Missions and Force Unleashed Wii version. Yeah, she was definitely in those. She's also in Empire at War as the spy hero for the Empire. Like, you can summon her and she'll blow things up and sneak around, and she's good at assassinating people. Because it's based on Command and Conquer, she's basically the Imperial Commando. And she's in Galactic Battlegrounds. I don't remember she's... Also, in the main Imperial story for Galactic Battlegrounds, you can find her watching Vader in one mission. Like, if you find her, and then she'll just disappear. And you can use her in the scenario editor to make new story, make your own missions and such. Don't think she's in any of the other games. But if anyone else knows of anything I've missed, please jump in. I would rather work for Angeles for free. That's very kind. Heat for fresh. Sorry for pointing out the glitch about the giant eggs and bullet holes. I'm just reading into details, not criticising your work. Not at all. I welcome people pointing issues like that out to me. Because sometimes, I've worked on the scene so much that I'm so familiar with it that a glitch just seems normal. So I completely miss that. But it's something I need to keep an eye out for in the future. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's not criticism that way. It's helpful. So please continue. That's true. Wouldn't it be cool to see your name in the credits? Tom voice hobby. And I called up the chat. That would be cool. So would the residuals. Right. Well, I never had to. The chat got really busy there, and that's a good thing. But it did take me a little while to catch up with everything. Well, so yeah, I finished the poster. I did not expect to stream for an hour, and I did. As I said at the beginning, I thought it'd be a shorter stream, but it's been an hour, and we're still talking. There's a cool video on the internet of Bill Hader doing Star Wars impressions on a late night show. I think I've seen that. This chat used to have role playing. It did indeed. Unfortunately, the role players stopped coming. I don't know what happened to them. It was always entertaining though to watch the role playing. I would prefer Thrawn to live in the end. He could have been a cool anti-hero. I think Timothy Zahn regrets killing him off as well. But I think at the time, he mapped out the trilogy and that would include Thrawn's death because with thinking that that's all he was ever going to write for it, and it probably wasn't going to be successful. And it makes sense because you go into a story, you need to plan the end and wrap it up. And you didn't anticipate what it would do to Star Wars and completely revive it. We all love you and your content, Darth. We cannot help but be chatty. Well, I enjoy the chats as well, so good. I do welcome the chats. I was no good at role playing. Need action figures. Yes, unfortunately, action figures don't really work on online chat. But it was artistically done. It was. I'm not looking forward to animating that death scene. Thankfully, it's a long way off. Anyway, I've been here for an hour. We've done the poster. We've chatted about Star Wars. I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. I'm not going to be here next week because I'm off to a convention. And I do come home on the Monday, but I think I'm going to be so sleepy at that point that I don't think I'll be awake for the stream time. So I'll be back in 2 weeks, barring any other problems. Work on chapter 24 is going to continue very soon. So as you can see here on this poster, I've already got one scene animated. I need to do the motion capture for the scenes I can, and yeah, looking forward to getting onto it because there's a lot happening there. Thank you. Have fun with this. Are you cosplaying? I will not. I will be cosplaying. I'm not doing anything Star Wars because I did all that for Celebration. I'm going to be cosplaying Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk 2077 and Indiana Jones. So both should be fun. Hopefully you enjoy the convention and it'll be an easy journey. That'd be nice. May the Thrawn be with you. Yeah, may the Thrawn be with all of you as well. Thank you all for coming. I hope you've enjoyed chapter 23. Oh, hang on. Captain 2 Rex, have you read Telegram by Admiral? They rewrote the post-Thrawn legends very well. Definitely removed after the Thrawn trilogy. I can't say that I have read them, but I will make a note. Thank you. Alright. So yeah, I wish you all a good night. See you all next time, which again, not next week. And I'll post this poster tomorrow, I think. So yeah, may the Thrawn be with you. See you all next time, and again, hope you enjoyed 23. Please do share it. Thank you. And Aurora, if you're still here, thank you so much again for the super chat. Oh, hang on, chat's blown up again. Thank you for creating this masterpiece, bringing the best story ever told to the screen. It's been doing country. All my friends love your work and appreciate the time you put in. Thank you so much. Please do share it. So like I say, share it with everyone. Get your friends to share it with everyone they know. Just share it. Keep sharing. And thank you. I was going to give one more, but I am broke. I do appreciate the thought. But look after yourself first. Because you're important. I have plans and ideas for Thrawn, just you rooted, and I have a theory about what Thrawn. That sounds like a project you should work on and make. and I can watch it, and I can be the fan and enjoy something instead of being the one making it. Because it's hard to watch my own stuff as a fan because I know it so well because I've worked on it. Anyway, you can make it. Thank you for that. I hope I have value to share with everyone. Well, of course. Anyway, I'm gonna head off to bed. It's 1:10 here in the morning. So thank you all, and good night. May the throne be with you. Alright, I'm just making a note of that channel, and then I'm going to sign off. I'll check it out. I'll check out your channel, see what you've done. Thank you. Anyway, take care. See you next time. Good night. For real this time.